The last passenger of Line 47. Most people in the city didn't even know Line 47 existed. It wasn't listed on any modern map. It didn't show up in GPS apps. If you asked a bus driver about it, they would shake their head and say, they shut that route down years ago. But every once in a while, only on nights when the clouds hung low and the rain fell like needles, someone would see its headlights cutting through the darkness. That person, one night, was Lena. She had stayed late at the university library, studying for an exam. When she finally left, soaked in exhaustion, the streets were nearly empty. She reached her usual bus stop at 11:52 p.m., just in time to watch her regular bus drive away without her. Rain soaked her hair. Her phone battery was at 3%. No taxis. No cars. No people. Just the echo of rain hitting pavement. As she was about to start walking home, she heard the low rumble of an engine. An old bus, paint faded like peeling skin, stopped in front of her. The wipers screeched across the windshield. The lights flickered weakly. The sign above the windshield glowed with a strange, pulsing red. She had never heard of it, but she needed to get home. Lena stepped inside. The air smelled of dust and cold metal. The seats were old, older than she thought buses could legally be. The windows were completely fogged, except for smudges that looked like finger streaks dragged downward. The driver sat behind a scratched plastic barrier. His cap was pulled so low it covered everything above his mouth. His hands were pale, thin, and very, very still. Lena tapped her card. "No fare," the driver murmured. "Voices shouldn't sound that dry. Just sit." She turned down the aisle. Only one passenger sat in the back, an elderly man in an outdated coat, staring straight ahead like he had been frozen in that pose for decades. Lena sat near the middle. The engine groaned. The doors wheezed shut. The bus pulled away. At first, Lena assumed the fog and rain were making the city look different. But then she noticed buildings that didn't exist. A theater that burned down 12 years ago. A hotel that had been demolished. A street that should have led to the river but now sloped upward into darkness. The route twisted and turned through impossible geography. Finally, the old man spoke without turning his head, "Don't look outside for too long. They notice." Lena's skin crawled. "What notices?" The old man didn't answer. But something outside the window did tap back. A faint, deliberate tapping, like fingernails on glass. She jerked away. Minutes, or maybe hours, passed. The streetlights outside flickered like dying stars. Some burned blue. Some bent under their own weight. Some were nothing but tall, thin silhouettes without bulbs at all. Lena leaned forward. "Sir, when does this bus reach city center?" The driver didn't look at her, but she saw his grin in the mirror. A slow, unnatural stretch of a mouth. "Line 47 doesn't return to where it picks up," he said. "It only drops off, and collects." She felt the old man shift behind her. He stood shakily and moved toward the front. As he passed, Lena noticed something horrifying. His scarf slipped slightly, revealing smooth, featureless skin where his mouth and nose should be, like clay that was never finished. He stepped off the bus at a deserted intersection Lena had never seen. As he disappeared into darkness, she saw his reflection in the window, no eyes. No face at all. Just a blank shape. The bus doors closed behind him with a heavy, final sound. The driver exhaled. Then he spoke, "You're the last passenger now." The bus kept driving. The city outside was no longer a city. It looked like a patchwork of abandoned places stitched together, rusted bridges, collapsed tunnels, buildings with their windows facing inward, doors leading nowhere. The fog thinned for a moment. Lena wished it hadn't. Dozens of pale faces floated outside the bus, pressed against the windows though the bus was moving fast. Their mouths moved silently, as if begging or warning or mimicking speech they no longer remembered. The seat where the old faceless man had been sitting began to warp. The cushion bending inward, the fabric stretching, forming a faint dent, like something sitting there that no longer had a shape. Lena tried to run to the front. She grabbed the driver's shoulder. It was cold. Too cold. Not human cold. He turned his face toward her. There was nothing under the cap. No skin. No bone. Just darkness, like a hollow space wearing a uniform. His voice, when it came, was behind her, not where his body. Saturday, every passenger becomes part of the route. The bus slowed. The door opened. And someone, something, waited outside for her seat.